Hey, what's up? POA here. I haven't done a box Modern Horizon 2 set box in quite some time. I did one for the patrons. It was a really, really good time. And sometimes it just comes about and it's like, you know what I haven't done in a long time and I actually feel like doing? And when you have a channel like this, sometimes you are trying to find something that you want to do. I want to open up another set box. It was a good price, so I was like, might as well. Inventory stickers. Yay! I doubt that means anything, but we'll see in a moment. Alright, well, let's pop this thing open. Yeah, just inventory stickers. Okay. Pull the packs out. Wonderful purple packs. Purple packs, best packs. And let's go through some Modern Horizons 2. 2 years later, still an incredible set to open. It's kind of wild, actually. More than 2 years now. And of course, we got Modern Horizons 3, sounds like coming out next summer. In which we'll see what it has. Obviously, the current thought is it's going to have allied fetch lands in there. But we will find out. Okay. Dihada's. Okay, so it's Japanese, but it's still laid out the same way? So we're okay. This is a Japanese set box. Alright, it's fine. Lucid Dreams, Altar of the Goyf, Glimpse of Tomorrow, Greed, Galvanic Relay, and a foil Cursed Totem. Got a little line on there. But definitely Japanese printed. Okay. Why is it so curled? Alright, wherever this box has been, it was not stored in particularly wonderful conditions. It's funny. Not really. Ignoble Hierarch for our first solid rare hit. Millikin. Narcomancer. Oh yeah, all these foils are curled. It's wild. I don't think I've ever seen truly curled Japanese foils before. This was stored in some heat and humidity. We got Piru, the Volatile, Bloodbraid Marauder, Bone Shredder, Ruwala, and Shambling Shell from OG Rav. Yeah, this box was not kept in ideal conditions. Like, I can feel it and see it. That's okay. Kind of glad I'm opening it for myself. Persist, Sterling Grove, and a foil Dark Moss Bridge. And so our first rare is Ormos from Jumpstart from the list. Modern Horizons 2 didn't have a particularly good list. In fact, I'm starting to see a trend with that. With the better the set, the worse the list, or the more powerful the set, perhaps I should say. The worse the list. I'm seeing a trend here with that. Like, Lord of the Rings and Commander Masters had some pretty bad lists. And yet March of the Machines had a good list. It's interesting. It's fascinating how they do some planning. They know. They know. All right, Nettle Cyst. Okay, and moving on. So what are we after? Obviously, I'm after Elementals. Obviously, Ragavan. Obviously, our boy, the Ristic Buddy. A Urza Saga would be nice. Fractured Sanity. We got Suspend. Fetchlands, of course. Of course, Fetchlands. But so far, we've got none of those things. So, damn! This card's seeing a lot more play now. Zabaz. Couple Dreadmaws. Alright. Oops. Almost knocked over the pile of cards on the side entirely. Is that a Chatterfang in the foil fake signature? We got Calibrated Blast. Goblin Bombardment. Prophetic Titan. Slagwood. Alright. No mythics yet. No mythics as of yet. Cyano Draco. So that's our first mythic, followed by our second mythic in Titania. All right. Hopefully we do better than those for our next mythics. That's a 3 mythic pack. So we got a foil Archon of Cruelty. That's actually kind of cool in a Japanese foiling. And I'll get that straightened out, but still. Huh. All right. That's pretty. And Spellbook, which is not a bad uncommon to pull. A 3 mythic pack. That's good old Modern Horizons and its tendency to do those things. We wanted mythics. Here you go. All right, we got Gaia's Will, Necrogoyf, Acid Shambler, Fodder Tosser. Moving on. Dragon's Rage Channeler. We got Yuzuri, Carrion Ranger, Urban Dagger Tooth. Yeah, wow, that's super curled. Huh. I have never seen Japanese printed foils this curled. Is this kept in a shed in Texas? Scalding freaking Tarn, baby. First of the fetch lands. Good to see you. We got a Cursed Totem, old bordered Liquid Metal Torque, which is pretty sweet. All right, so we're on the board for those. Dagon, not the card we're looking to see. Not the mythic we are looking for. In fact, other than Grist, the other 2 Planeswalkers can stay away, please. No more Dacons, please. And no Garth One Eyes. No Garth One Eyes. All right, you already gave me Titania and Dacon. Like, you know, you're going to get a couple not so good mythics. Not that, like, Titania is obviously playable, and I have it in a deck, and it's kind of a monster in that deck. All right, we got Thought Monitor, which now is bulk, thanks to Commander deck reprints. Master of Death, Shardless Agent for the 3 rare pack. And Workhorse from Exodus. Okay. That's probably going to be it for the rares off the list. Bloodbraid Marauder. Duplication does happen in these boxes quite a bit. Well, sometimes a good price is a good price for a reason. Sanctum Weaver. Good to see you. Putting this on the side because I have more immediate need. Persist again. Patriarch's Bidding. What is this back here? Borderless Foil Titania. that could have been any Borderless Foil Mythics, but no, it was Titania. Oh my god. Hilarious. Well, so we're not doing well, obviously. Oh my god. Yeah, we're not doing well in this particular video, folks. Old bordered Void Mirror, so we're getting struck out here on the old borders. We got Throsta for another Mythic. Prismatic Ending, old bordered. And Hammer Mage from Mercadian Mask. So yeah, so this is good. This is a bad box. Unless we end with some kind of shocking development, this is definitely a bad box. It happens. It happens. So far, this is a bad box. Profane Tutor. Okay. My god, these foils are terrible. Tireless Provisioner. Suspend again. Riptide Laboratory. Training Grounds. Okay, this would have been a really big hit when this set came out. When this set came out, this being on the list was like a $25 to $30 card. Still like a $8 card or something like that. All right, we're in the last 10 packs. So, hey, you know, it's still an $8 card off the list. Still Training Grounds, still a good card. It's just funny when you think about some of the massive reprints that have taken place. Is that Turok? That is probably Turok, isn't it? Wow, Mythics are just not going our way on this particular video. Not that it's a bad card. But after getting Titania, Dakon, Thrasta, our Borderless being another Titania, at least it's a foil, but we're taking a bit of a hit there in the Mythic category, and rares haven't exactly shown out. But we got some packs to go still. Sylvan, Anthem again, Wonder. Huh. Misty Rainforest, good to see you. Dothy Voidwalker, also good to see you. Enchantress's Presence, good card. More play now than ever has before. And the Noggle Hedge Mage from, I don't know, is that Shadowmoor? I can never remember those exact symbols. Eventide. I don't know. One of those four. One of those four, and it's not Lorwyn. Sierra Emissary. Super strong card. Incredibly annoying. Not the mythic hits we were looking for. The Slow Talisman. You know what? I'm going to put the Slow Talisman up here, even though it doesn't actually deserve it, just because it keeps finding more and more places to slowly go into over time. This is about as a rough of a mythic spread as you can actually get out of one of these boxes. That's actually pretty impressive, I have to say. Okay, rares, bail me out. Verdant Command. 5 packs left. All right. Our second Scalding Tarn. Invernal Equinox from Mercadian Mask. Okay. It gives all your creatures and enchantments flash. Subtlety, finally. All right, good to see you, buddy. So out of time, almost just skipping past those at this point. And a foil Calibrated Blast and a Muscle Sliver. Okay, 2 packs left. Can we get a strong, one of the stronger rares in our final 2 packs? I have a feeling mythics are spent. We got 2 foil mythics, though. Master of Death. Counterspell. Arcus Acolyte. All right, down to the last pack. Well, thankfully, like, the 3 fetch lands are really, like, you know, the most expensive ones. Subtlety. That Titania is not bad. Foil Archon of Cruelty is really cool. Could this have been worse? Maybe. But it definitely wasn't a good box. Like, this is definitely a bad box. Constable. Marsh Flats. All right, so fetch land number 4. I think that's going to do it, isn't it? It sure is. All right, so unfortunately no Rhystic Buddy, no Urza Saga, but yeah, that could have been better. That was not a good box. There are some positives to take away, because between these, and a couple of these mythics, the box isn't like a... Like, when I think about giant losses, sometimes I think of, like, Jumpstart 2020, where you could open one box and, like, there's, like, $160 worth of cards in it, and then open another box and there's, like, $22 worth of cards in it that are all together, including the comments. And while this isn't that type of fluctuation, it's still not particularly good, right? We did get above at least halfway point to the box cost. In fact, we're probably, just on quick judge, probably 65-70%, which I guess isn't that terrible in the end. But when you think about how many rolls of the dice that I missed, and by the way, I've opened up a insane amount of Modern Horizons 2 over the course of this channel. I have a very strong belief that the Titanias, the Scion Dracos, the Dakons, the Thrastas, heck, the Cauldron Completes, the Serum Emissaries, the Turoks, the Archons of Cruelty, the Murktide, the Dragon guy. I can't remember his name right now. Doesn't matter. They're all printed more than the Elementals. That also goes for Garth and what's her name, Dehada and Grist too. That they're all printed more than the Elementals were, even though the Elementals also had a borderless treatment. When you've opened up this sheer amount of quantity plus the quantity you've watched on other channels, you do start to see this reality that, and it kind of explains why the Elementals are so expensive beyond just playing, right? They're being played heavily, and they weren't printed as much as some of the other mythics in this product. And that part's extremely clear that this is the case. Yeah, when you literally, between your own and what you've watched over hundreds of boxes, you start to develop a good idea of how they did the print run. I guess in some ways, because you have the two different sides, you have those that get mad about reprint value or the value of cards, and those that get mad because they want more playables and things should be cheaper so they can build decks. In a way, if you kind of play with the printing and some things are more mythic and some things are more than other things, then you're kind of also messing with that, and you can actually create that a little bit. Modern Horizons 2 has been printed like crazy, right? That's why you can still get Draft Box for $190. Heck, this was out the door, what, $205? Which is, you know, when you think about the whole grand scheme of the set's been out for 2 years and it's an absolute banger of a set, that's actually kind of cheap in the whole scheme of things. And it's because of how much they printed it. And they clearly reprinted draft set boxes too, which isn't something they've done for every set. There was rumors about that, but they definitely did. So the only thing they didn't reprint was collector boxes, which is why those are still kind of on the expensive side. Because those got opened like crazy too. People have, you know, so it's just interesting that Modern Horizons 2 is a bit of a... I'm sure they have a lot of numbers and data based off of this product to build future products with. Which is, to me, fascinating as a bit of a data hound. It's really fascinating to me. So how they develop sets in the future, I almost feel like Modern Horizons 2 is going to be a really good example for them of how to do that. But it has, you know, they plan sets like 2 years in a row, right? So they plan a set, and you've already seen what they're coming out with in 2025, right? So they plan these sets way in advance, and then they work on them, and they get done with them well before they come out, and so on and so forth, right? So Modern Horizons 2 came out, what, in the summer of 2021? And then you start collecting the data, which then doesn't start to reflect until later. So they obviously just did this massive overprinting time of creating 1 billion products. And if you're looking at the 2024, 2025 roadmap, they're pulling back a little bit on that. They're not going to fully pull back because they're still, unfortunately, they don't want to leave money on the table because Hasbro needs them. Hasbro needs Wizards, and I think it's something that a lot of people don't get out there. Like right now, Hasbro needs Wizards to drag as much money as they can for the health of their company. It's just the way publicly traded companies work, folks. If you don't like it, don't be publicly traded. Anyway, so they are going. It does appear that they're going to tone it back a tad bit. Not like things were back in 2018. But they're still going to pull it back from where things were in 2022, 2023, which is good. And when we look at these maps for the next 2 years, it doesn't look like there's a master set, which is... Look, as a person who does love master sets, we need a break, man. We need a break. I think everybody is in full agreement. Expensive sets, we need a break. Commander Masters was a fantastic product, but people couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle it because you just got done releasing another actually expensive set in Lord of the Rings that people absolutely loved. Okay, so you can't have the same summer where you came out with that set and it's expensive, and then you come out with this set and it's even more expensive. Something's got to give. Either one of the two sets are not going to, you know, really, yeah, one of the two sets won't do well. You have no option. There's only so much money to pull from, right? And the data from 2020, they clearly didn't understand it. Many companies didn't, though. So let's be clear about that. This isn't just a Hasbro problem. Many companies didn't understand what all took place in 2020 and 2021. And I know I sound like somebody else when I'm talking about this stuff, but I also have a large hand in this reality outside of the trading card world. So it's something that I kind of regularly deal with, these kind of projections. So we have to keep this stuff in mind, that you get this data, things were going crazy, card games were going crazy. All of a sudden, all these boxes are selling because people have disposable income. More people have disposable income, or they have more disposable income. But then that dried up. But the problem is they already planned all of it. And from my understanding, when Wizards goes to the printer, like they go on a printer, like they set the stuff so far out in advance and they prepay for it. Like that time at the printer's paid for. I assume, and I think it's safe to assume, that you can't just say to them, oh, hey, yeah, we want to print less, so can you give us a refund? I assume it doesn't work that way, because you reserved that time. And until you own your own printer, it's just not the way it's going to go down. You have to buy that time on the printer, and then that money's spent, right? Whatever it is that you print at that point, that's up to you, but that money is spent. So then you have to print the product. You can't just pull back at that point. I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize, that they've been screaming for last year. Print less! Yeah, I think they understood that. But they couldn't, because they already bought it. So what are they supposed to do? Well, they could release less product, but then the problem is then you're holding on to product and you have more owned product, which then counts on your P&Ls as inventory being held, which would be negative on your P&Ls, and that would negatively impact some of your stock viewership, or at least your shareholders, especially in the board, would not be too happy with that, and they would say, why are you not selling off this product? Because that's what we do here. We sell product. So none of this is like a super easy answer, and it seems that now there's some of that thought process that's catching up, right, to the changes that took place a while ago. And it's going to be important. In the end, I think it'll all be fine, and this is definitely the time of overprinting. Personally, I kind of view this period of Magic we just passed, that's like baseball cards of the late 80s, early 90s, where you can still get like a 1990 Upper Deck box for like $20 out there sealed. And why? Because they printed into the ground because baseball cards blew up. And they were selling things hand over fist, but they printed more than they ever actually needed. And so you can still just get these things for dirt cheap and nobody cares. And that's kind of what happened with Magic during this period. Certain sets could absorb it, like Modern Horizons 2. That set could handle it. It was such a strong product that it could handle that level, or that amount of printing onto the market. Some of the singles couldn't handle it that well. I mean, Fetchlands, for instance, great example. What's a Scalding Tarn at right now? $14, $15? Didn't think you'd ever say that, huh? But hey, conversely, good time to pick some up for your deck, I guess. All right, I'm done with my rant. Thanks, everybody. Bye.